All right, you guys. Hey, good morning. A couple things going on last couple days I'll talk about with you guys this morning. First thing, uh, yo, Tropical Punch, Celsius, right side up pineapple, Vibes Edition. Get into it. And then I'm also going to show you guys something else I like to do on a regular basis. I don't know why I haven't done it on the podcast, but it's good for your mental, man, to keep you cognitive, quick, quip, right? Stay in conversations, keep your head fucking level. I like to use this right here. It's called lion's mane mushrooms. It's good for cognitivity. These right here, I think this is like a $20 bottle. I get it on Amazon. It's by Horbach, Horbaach, 4,200 milligrams per serving. It's 2 pills per serving. I take them once every morning, and I don't know. I think it helps. I think it helps keep me kind of quick. I'm not obviously super quick, right? Like I'm not like Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. That's why I take lion's mane, so I can be more like that. So I can be the human version of Chat GPT. So when you ask me shit, I'm just like, bam, answer, bitch. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm working on. All right, let's get into it, you guys. First of all, please like, follow, and subscribe to Treeline Podcast. Um, yeah, so let's talk about it, man. Couple things have happened. We all know the individual. What the fuck was this dude's name, man? He's one of the main leaders of the. Hold on, let me make sure I turn this down because you guys don't need to hear the volume on my stupid little computer. Yeah, Prigozhin. Prigozhin was one of the leaders of the mercenary group Wagner, the Wagner mercenary group, Russian mercenary group. I guess a couple months ago, we all heard this dude, Prigozhin, bald white man, Russian dude, pretty much threaten Putin. On I think he did it through Telegram because I know that supposedly there's a Telegram that all these mercenaries of the Wagner Group follow, and it's kind of like their forum, like that's where they communicate with each other. It's like an online forum. So I don't even know if everybody can access it. I don't even have Telegram. So if you got Telegram and you follow that Wagner group, you'll tell me some about it. Let me know because I don't have Telegram. I'm not about to get into Telegram just to follow the Wagner group, you know what I'm saying? So tell me about it if you got info on that. But as far as I know, Prigozhin recently just died in a plane crash, right? And it's very, it's kind of almost obvious that, this dude was probably murdered, right? By Putin, not Putin himself. I mean, I'm sure he had a henchman or something plant a bomb on that plane. I guess that's what they concluded, that it must have been a bomb on the plane. So they didn't shoot it out of the sky, okay? But there's a good chance that there was an explosive on the plane that exploded in order to take the plane down because Prigozhin was on it. So at first, when I heard about the plane crash a couple days ago, I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, it could just be propaganda, right? At first, honestly, I thought that Prigozhin, I thought it was his idea. Like I was like thinking, okay, maybe that's a good idea, right? Like if I'm the leader of a mercenary group and I want 25,000 of my mercenaries to march on Moscow with the intent to pretty much to cut off the head of the snake and to replace that head. So to replace the leadership of Russia is what their intent is. Right, so I think that I thought originally Prigozhin had faked his own death to help motivate the entire mercenary group to march on Moscow. That's what I thought originally. Now it's coming out that I guess after some DNA tests and stuff from the crash site, at least the U.S. is becoming more and more confident that Prigozhin was on the flight and Prigozhin is in fact dead. So. But that was from a press conference from yesterday, I believe. Yeah, the 28th. Yeah. So that was a press conference from yesterday that we came out saying that we're becoming more and more confident that Prigozhin was on the flight and Prigozhin is dead. So since that happened, okay, the mercenary group Wagner has begun to make a movement towards from wherever they were. I guess they're moving north, and they're about halfway to where they're going, which is Moscow. And apparently, from what I understand, because remember, this is all happening like right now. So there's not like articles coming out left and right on this, and we're not going to probably hear about it until the next couple of days. All right. But as you know, we do have like real time social medias kind of, right? So like we got people, posting stuff on TikTok, which is kind of, unfortunately, like TikTok, in order to get like real time info, unless you're a part of that Telegram group, I think like TikTok or some other social media source that would be like that, like a shorts, like maybe YouTube shorts, Instagram reels. But even those, like YouTube and Instagram, I don't think like a lot of stuff like gets filtered out, right? TikTok, you can pretty much post almost anything. It's just short of like people killing people, I think. Even then, I'm pretty sure I've seen some of those videos too, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think that if we're trying to follow this thing real time, unfortunately, one of our best sources is going to be TikTok. So I've been seeing some shit on TikTok. Obviously, I can't confirm or deny a lot of this shit because it's fucking TikTok. But it does look like the Wagner mercenary group is making a movement towards Moscow, and it does look like that there was a Telegram post in that Wagner mercenary group on Telegram saying, "Hey, we're marching on Moscow to pretty much take out the leadership, replace the leadership." So, and now I guess I know a lot of you guys are veterans. Probably most of you are veterans that listen to this. So I guess let me just dive into what a mercenary is before we go any further. So for those of you that might not know what a mercenary is, so this mercenary like army, well, I guess it's really just a group, I guess, a mercenary group. I don't even know if you're allowed to call mercenary groups armies. I know you can just like Blackwater, Triple Canopy, those veterans out there that know what that is, those are like our versions of mercenary groups. But the Wagner group, so if they're anything like Blackwater or Triple Canopy, right, they operate, well, not in the United States. They operate all over the world, but, I'm pretty sure they're based in the United States. But if they're anything like our mercenary companies, what a mercenary is normally is someone with some kind of combat background, whether it be military, normally a combat job in the military, or police officer or something something salty in the past. You did some salty shit, and now that you're out of the military, out of the police force, or out of SWAT team, whatever it is, whatever you're out of now, it's like basically a second career. So a lot of these guys, when they get out of the military and they want to keep making money, mercenaries make a shit ton more money than active duty military, just FYI. If that's what you want to do, where the fuck was I going? Yeah. So what you would do is you would get out the military or whatever operations you're in, police operations or SWAT operations you're doing. When you're done with that, and then you go sign up to be in one of these mercenary groups. And Wagner, if they're anything, like I said, anything like Blackwater, Triple Canopy, these guys are more than likely salt dogs. Like, these dudes are probably combat-hardened fucking dudes. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that the Russian defenders in Moscow are not going to be combat-hardened dudes as well. They could very well be. But a lot of times, your active-duty military, whether you like it or not, dude, are going to be more inexperienced than mercenaries. And it's because normally to get hired by one of these mercenary groups, you need experience. They're not going to just take you off the street like a recruiter will for a military recruiter. These guys, like the mercenary groups, is like prerequisites. You got to have some military background, police force, SWAT team, something like that. You have to have some kind of combat background to get into a mercenary career. You can't just fucking walk off the street into it. And if you did, then I would be more confident in saying that mercenary groups are not combat hardened dudes. But I'm confident in saying that they are, because a lot of the dudes that I know that got out of the military went and did fucking contract job, mercenary jobs, Blackwater, Triple Canopy, and made stupid fucking money. So yes, the majority of them dudes are probably combat hardened dudes. And the reason why I bring that up is because when they're marching on Moscow, the dudes they're going to be walking into, the defenders, whoever they're going to be, the last line of defense in Moscow. And that's if, like I'm saying, man, I'm getting this info from TikTok. So that's if this information is true. the defenders in Moscow are probably going to be some kind of secret service, maybe, or it's going to be enlisted military, something. But they're not going to be hot shots like the mercenary dogs. I mean, if, like I said, if they operate the way America does with our mercenary groups like Blackwater and Triple Canopy, they are going to be battle hardened cats. Like, they're going to be fucking hardcore dudes. They're not boots, man. They did not just get recruited, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys got experience laying lead down range. Like, these motherfuckers know what they're doing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's interesting that 25, now, I don't know if we talked about the number yet. 25,000 mercenaries are marching on Moscow. Some perspective, man. That's a shit ton of battle-hardened dudes all going to one fucking place. So it would behoove of Putin to obviously prepare. And I if Putin is worth any of his weight in salt, bro, like, he's not taking this march on Moscow threat lightly. I mean, he's not. Obviously Putin is. I mean, he's kind of murderous, right? He's mean, like, he's a fucking dude's all business, man. You know what I mean? So he sees this as just another part of the fucking business, man. Like, they're marching on us, we got to prep. So I'm imagining that's what they're doing. They're prepping, and I haven't heard nothing about that. I feel like, and I don't know if it's all TikTok or just my TikTok, but I feel like fucking they're super heavily biased towards Ukraine. Like, a lot of these social media is like, obviously, okay, so I don't know why I say I feel like, because it's just a common fucking sense. And it's just interesting that we're so, like, we want to be so involved in helping Ukraine out. So involved with that, but we were so fucking ready to get out of Afghanistan. So ready to get out. We were just so sloppy about it. Like, we just wanted to be out of the fucking war. And like a month or two later, like, we're like, wait, did you guys say war over there? You guys say the word war? Y'all say that shit? Okay, let me flood some money over to you, because we want a piece of that war too. It's like, dude, and then it's also convenient because we're not, like, losing Americans, right? It's like we can still have a piece of that military industrial complex without losing any American blood. We're just losing Ukrainian and Russian blood, but we're still making bank. I'm assuming the reason why we're investing so much money in Ukraine during their war with Russia is because eventually, on the back end, we're going to get ours. It's not like we're not getting shit out of it, dude. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys think that America's just a really nice older brother, it's a really nice guy, and we're just coming out to help Ukraine because, you know, we're kind and sweet and we got a soft heart and we really love Ukrainians, dude, you are living in a fucking cushy little pillow inflated fucking balloon, dude, because no, America's not just a nice guy coming to swoop in to save you, my friend. Negative. I know America's not a nice guy. I've been one of the guys that aren't nice that belong to America kicking doors, man. We're not nice. You know what I'm saying? We're not nice. If we see a potential gain, if we can gain ground, we're going to take it. So Ukraine, just the fact, I mean, and they're taking it too. Like, we offer so much and they're taking it. And it's like, I don't know. Like, dude, when a country's offering you billions of dollars to help your country go to war, if you think you don't owe something to America, dude, like, I'm talking to Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, if you don't think that eventually America's going to come for theirs, they're going to come try to get theirs, dude, you got it twisted, bro. You got it twisted. But honestly, I don't think he really cares, man. And I kind of switched my opinion on this over time as propaganda slowly evolved over time to, originally it was Russia's a monster, taking over Ukraine. Like, this is an unnecessary invasion, all that stuff. And it is. Obviously, fucking that. There's just a lot of unnecessary death. But, let's be real, man. I mean, if America wasn't pushing further out their NATO borders, Russia wouldn't have felt like they probably had to do what they did. So honestly, as propaganda has evolved, my opinion has shifted. I don't think we should be involved in Ukraine, honestly. I think if we're going to go to war, it should be for our benefit. It shouldn't be, which honestly, like I said, we just don't know it now. America's going to get a benefit out of it somehow. I don't know what the fuck the benefit's going to be, but eventually America's going to get theirs. That's all I'm saying. But it's just these guys are gangsters and thugs, bro. Like giving billions of dollars to Zelensky to go to war. And Zelensky thinks that he's getting out scot-free, dude. I mean, there's got to be some kind of deal behind closed doors that no one knows about. Nobody just takes billions of dollars from some other country without a catch, dude. Like, what the fuck, bro? So is it that we just want a larger NATO? Maybe that's our benefit from it? I mean, in plain sight, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Do we need a larger NATO? The only reason there is a NATO is because there's a Russia. Now, this is something, I don't know if a lot of people know this about NATO, man. Apparently, supposedly, Putin has been trying to get Russia into NATO since the 90s, all right? Since the early 90s, but has been rejected over and over and over again, and finally has taken a stand against NATO, supposedly. Now, that being said, if you understand that as a fucking truth, then it's easier to understand that the reason why America and the rest of NATO never accepted Russia into NATO is because without Russia, what's the point of NATO? Does that make sense? Okay. Without Russia, what's the point of NATO? There isn't a point. I'm telling you now. Like, dude, when you're in the military and you're training for fucking war, bro, you're reading up on Soviet doctrine. Like, that's the perceived enemy. Always. Always. Them and China. But, I mean, Russia and China are like the perceived enemy. Always. That's what we're training towards. So without that enemy, the fuck are we training for? You know what I'm saying? Like, so in order to have a successful military, you need an enemy. Okay? So if Putin had joined NATO, then that would have eliminated our enemy. So we can't have him in NATO. In order for NATO to exist, we cannot have Russia in NATO. If you understand that as a truth, then you have to understand just how fucked up NATO is. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I talking shit? Sure, man, I'm talking shit. But I think it's sort of warranted a little bit. I don't know. Do I feel bad for Putin? Of course not, dude. He's a fucking murderer, dude. Like, if you cross him, or you hurt his fucking feelings, he's gonna fucking poison you. He's gonna put a bomb on your plane and blow it up. Like, this dude's a murderer, bro. Like, obviously, I'm not sticking up for him, but there's a lot of other Russian people, right, that are not horrible people that are fucking dying, and a lot of Ukrainians that are not horrible people, like possibly Zelensky and his fucking crew of heathens, you know? And I guarantee you, if we could get bank statements for all of his fucking cabinet, dude, I guarantee you, bro, they're getting some fucking on the top of that fucking, those $1 billion contracts we're sending over to Ukraine. Are you kidding me, dude? If you opened up Zelensky's bank account, dude, Zelensky or any of his henchmen, I guarantee you these guys are filthy rich. And honestly, they probably want the war to go on. The longer that war goes, the filthier rich these motherfuckers will get, dude. I want you to understand that. The longer that war goes, that leadership is just going to get richer and filthier. That's just the art of war, my friend. And that, actually, I'm pretty sure that's not what it says in Sun Tzu's book, Art of War. I don't think Sun Tzu, I think he had more respect for war than modern day world leaders do. Now it's war's a moneymaker, baby. War is a fucking racket. You know what I'm saying? War's a fucking racket, dude. God, who's that book by? War's a Racket. Isn't that that's not is that Mattis? Mattis wrote War is a Racket? Is that from Mattis? Who the fuck wrote that book? Cause that dude, war is a racket, brother. That's for sure. All right. But yeah, it's interesting because who wrote that shit? Oh, Smedley Butler, dude. I'm such an idiot, dude. Yo, I'm going to take myself to the tree line, and I will be hazing myself today for disrespecting Smedley Butler. Obviously, it's not disrespectful if I thought Mattis wrote it, because Mattis is also a badass fucking Marine. But still, I should have known that. Smedley Butler wrote a short book in 1935 called War is a Racket. But yeah, so yeah, as you know, as you don't know, because we'll never see their bank statements. Talking back again to the bank statement situation, if we could have access to the bank statements of Zelensky and his henchmen, I guarantee you they have made stupid money over the course of the last year and some change. Guaranteed. So when you see those smiles on their faces, those might be genuinely happy smiles. But back to the mercenary situation. Yes. Prigozhin, was that his name? Prigozhin, yeah. I believe, like I said before, it made sense to me at first for Prigozhin to help convince his crew, his Wagner group, his Wagner mercenary group, 25,000. I thought at first maybe he was faking his death in order to help incentivize a march on Moscow. But as we learn more and more, but then again, now listen. Wow, dude. And I don't know. This could be a fucking hot take right now. I don't know. This could be just completely false. But who's to say that's still not true? Who's to say Prigozhin is alive? Who's to say that America's incentivized by not releasing that information that he's still alive? Because if they released that information confirmed, like in yesterday's press conference, had they released an information saying that Prigozhin's still alive, could that potentially halt the march? Does America want the march halted? Does America see it as an opportunity? If this Wagner group is capable of taking out Putin, does America see that as an opportunity? Because now, I mean, whether we're involved or not, there's 25,000 people that want Putin to die walking towards him right now. So if America knew that the leader of those 25,000 people was still alive, it would not be tactically advantageous to release that information. In fact, it'd be more tactically advantageous to do a press conference like they did yesterday, saying that we feel more confident that it is Prigozhin's body. One, we said we feel more confident. It's so much easier to go back on your words a week or two later, just in case they might have to, saying that, listen, we told you guys we became more confident. We did not confirm that he died, but we became more confident a week ago that he died in the airplane crash. If I said to you that I feel more confident that I will edit this today and have it posted by tomorrow, if I told you I was confident that I could complete that, but I didn't, I could tell you a week from now that I didn't say I was going to post this video, but I told you that I was confident I might. You know what I mean? So, like, it's very weird wording that they used in the press conference yesterday. And the press conference I'm talking about is that chick, the White House press secretary lady. I don't know her name, but she's been a press secretary longer than most of these other ones. I don't know, so she must be doing a good job. I'm not sure. I don't really watch a lot of these press conferences. I just try to keep up with stuff that interests me. For example, the mercenary march on Moscow. That's going to be pretty big news. If they're able to get to Moscow and take out the leadership over there, that's going to be huge. Like, Russia's been a president there for like decades. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be freaking huge. And how are they going to do that? Like, what happens next? 25,000 dudes marching on Moscow takes out Russian President Vladimir Putin. What next? Do they just assume the leadership role? Or do they pass that off to somebody else? Like, what happens next to that? Is there a rule book for taking out the head of a country? You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time that happened? The last time the head of a country was executed. Okay, we've had that happen, right? But we have fallbacks. Like, we got so there are 25,000 of them marching on Moscow, supposedly to take out the leadership, and that could mean a whole cabinet of people, or it could just mean chopping off, just taking out Putin. Who knows? But chances are they're probably going to try to replace the majority of the leadership So are they going to assume those positions, or are they going to divvy those positions out to key leadership individuals of the Wagner Group? Who knows? Like I said, this is all developing, man. Like, I'm only seeing bits and pieces through TikTok, so I'm trying to fill in the gaps. So I explained to you guys what a mercenary was, right? We talked about what the Wagner Group is currently doing per Telegram and TikTok. Like I said, I don't have Telegram, so I can't confirm that. But from my understanding, there was a post put on the Telegram Wagner page telling 25,000 Wagner mercenaries to march on Moscow to take out the leadership, take out Putin. So is it happening? Something's happening. I'll tell you that. So I'm watching it, and I suggest you do the same, because if this follows, this is going to be history, my friends. If this happens soon, like, I'm not saying they're going to be successful, but I'm saying 25,000 combat hardened, battle hardened motherfucking mercenaries. It's going to be hard to hold them back. It's going to be hard to protect Putin from 25,000 killers, man. So we'll see. It's interesting. I'm going to try to stay. I'm going to try to stay on it and try to report to you guys as much as possible. But let's be real, man. I don't really trust, especially. I just don't trust a lot of the news, man. So I don't know. A lot of the information you're going to get is just like, it's going to be me questioning a lot of it. For example, the press conference yesterday, using terminology like, we feel more confident that was Prigozhin in the plane, rather than we are 100% confident. Because they said that they had DNA tests, which made them feel more confident. Why? In every other situation, why is a DNA test like 100% affirmative? You can fucking throw someone in prison for murder with a DNA test. But when it comes to the fucking federal government, a DNA test can only make you a little more confident. Bruh. I don't know. Is he dead, alive? I don't know, man. I think it would have been tactically advantageous to fake my death if I was him, to get 25,000 badass motherfuckers to march on Moscow. I think it would have been tactically advantageous to fake my death. That's just me. And as an American, if I was working for the federal government, I would also see it tactically advantageous to secure that information so that no one else knew it until the time was right. So, I don't know. Something to think about, man. Something to think about. One, don't trust the government. When they use terms like, we are more confident on fucking, national press conferences, don't trust those motherfuckers, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's probably not even the press secretary lady. It's probably not even her fault. She probably didn't even have all the information. Who knows? But I think we're all confident. We're all a little more confident, just like she said yesterday. We're all a little more confident in today's day and age that we can't fucking trust them. We can't. So don't. Trust your friends. And even then, like, I'd say like one or two close friends. Anything more than that, it's just you're just asking for trouble. All right, you guys. We talked about a lot of shit today. Prigozhin, dead or alive, I don't know. 25,000 mercenaries marching on Moscow. We're going to see how that fucking plays out. Russian and Ukrainian leaderships are both obviously sketchy gangsters and thugs. If we could see their bank account information, especially the Ukrainian leadership, if we could see their bank account information since this time last year, guaranteed they're all fucking millionaires now. Guaranteed. If not billionaires. Anyways, as well, Treeline Podcast, please like, follow, subscribe. I love you guys. Have a great freaking day. I'm going to do my best from now on to nothing. Fuck it. Leave it. We'll get into it next time. I love you guys. Have a great day. Treeline Podcast, like, follow, subscribe. All right. Later.